We are world racers. And that's it. No, I'm kidding.
Hey guys, I'm Peyton. This is Janice. This is Kristen, and we're just gonna get this introduction over with so we can move on to what's important.
Okay, I mean, I'm good with that.
I mean, my name's Kristen, but you know that. This is Janice, and Peyton's behind the camera. Your face is red.
Yeah, because that took a lot.
I like that.
Thank you. All right, so you want to give them an introduction as to what we're doing?
Yeah, so I just wanted to sit down with some friends and talk about training camp. I've been pretty MIA on social media and stuff. So training camp was like a week ago, almost 2 weeks ago.
I can't do the whole time thing. I don't know what's happening.
But it was 10 days of like, I don't even know how to describe it. But we're officially on the world race and we launched to Chicago. Due to COVID, we are in the States, but just got the news today that we will go international in January. But for now, we're gonna talk about training camp.
All right, so my first question for you is, when did you know that you were called to the world race?
It was the summer of 2019 for me. God made it very known to me that I was very focused on other things that were not important. So yeah, he told me well, it was through my friend. His name's Pablo. He told me about the world race, and so I looked into it and I applied. And yeah, they accepted me in 2019.
For me, it was July 11th, my little brother's birthday, and I was laying across my mom's couch, not knowing what to do with my life, and Jesus said, apply to the world race. And my response was a bad word because I have really no desire to go outside of the country or do mission trips. But I knew that he was calling me to do it, and I knew that I had to do it. So here I am.
What did God lay on your heart to learn while you were at training camp or before you got to training camp in Gainesville?
Yeah, he told me that I was not supposed to be worrying about my family, in the sense that I try and my role and my desire is to like be there for my family and to make sure that they're fine and everything, and maybe even just save them from whatever. But God was just like, no, like I have this plan for you, and I'm gonna be taking care of them while you're gone, so you shouldn't be worrying about anything.
For me, I only had about a month and a half before I left for the race, but over that time the Lord gave me the phrase grace upon grace, and I'm not exactly sure what that means. But I knew that he was going to teach me something with it, and he already has taught me so much. Just an example is today during quiet time with my team, we got to color. It was so fun. Just like Erica taught us. Mm-hmm. And I wrote the words trading shame for grace, and that's kind of where I'm at.
Describe your training camp experience in either one word or phrase.
Wrecked. That's the word. Wrecked. Completely wrecked. Can I take your word?
A little bit, yeah.
We can look up synonyms for wrecked. It's okay.
The one that comes to mind is hard. Definitely not in my comfort zone. I'm trying to think because there were multiple portions of training camp that like this could be a word, this could be a word, this could be a word, this could be a word.
Some of them were also cuss words, so.
So much happened at training camp.
Like diving in with the Lord was really great. It was pretty intimate and hard and growing and challenging.
Those are all really good words. Yeah, a blast.
All right.
Here is Blizz. Blizz has joined us.
Hello.
Her real name is Liz.
Actually, my real name is Elizabeth.
But it's okay.
Sure.
It stands for Bold Liz.
Yes.
Blizz.
Yes.
She's
All
at
right.
camp with us. She's on her school.
She went camping with us.
We just met her in the woods. And let her come along. Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Can't
feel
be
honored.
friends. Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
My question for you three is, how did God wreck your world at training camp?
Who wants to go first?
I'll be quick. God made it very known to me that He is my Father.
Yeah, that's good.
He wrecked my world at training camp. I finally audibly heard from someone else that I needed to end a relationship that I was in. Like, I knew it in my heart and in my mind, but no one else could call me out on it because the people I told or like confided in were supporting me, and they didn't want to do that because they were like, oh, like, you know, then it seems like I'm not loving you. But I finally heard it from people who had just met me and then God, and I was just like, yes, sir. And I finally like surrendered to that, and it gave me so much peace and freedom. But it wrecked me first. Like, it was just like, then it was like,
Dang. I think we could probably talk for years on this, but I can feel you staring at me.
Oh, sorry.
You. I wish you'd look at me, but okay. Now you can look at me. Jesus definitely like stripped me down from what I knew as Kristen, and what I knew as my past, and what I knew as whatever, and gave me a whole new sense of community. I think it's my biggest takeaway. This is Hannah. She's my teammate, and she's in for the rest of this interview.
Yes.
Video.
Well, yeah.
Vlog.
We'll see.
Maybe this is one question.
Wherever the Lord leads.
All right. What was your most memorable, what was the most memorable event at training camp?
Who's going first?
I'll go first. Okay, do you want to go?
Okay, so for me, I don't know if I can say this, but I'm going to anyways.
It's the
because I
internet.
can choose. So I took a shower in the woods, like bucket showers. Like, I don't know, there was something freeing about that. I know that's really weird, but like just being in like this random barn in the woods and like having to like scoop out your water and stuff. I don't know. There was something very just like, I realized how much I could live without and how okay I am without having to have like a home and electricity and all that stuff. Like, I don't know, the inner wilderness woman came out in me. So yeah,
Wait.
it was like,
There was a scoop.
Oh my God! Stop!
Janice didn't know there was a
Janice
scoop.
didn't know.
Stop!
She was just picking up the bucket and going
Like
for
cupping it.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
I was in survival mode the whole time.
and you survived.
No, I did. Okay, for me, it was the cricket. So we ate crickets. And then, yeah, I don't want to go too deep into that, but yeah, the crickets, and then also the porta potties. I think that was interesting. How we had a,
Janice, what do you think when you go into a porta potty?
I think of a mountain, and I'm not going to go into any of that.
What about you?
Oh, what, Kristen?
Most memorable would probably be me. Why are you laughing?
You got it.
We're ready to hear.
Me, Peyton said I was going too slow. Me, going on the hike with my 55-pound pack and sobbing and wheezing.
Yeah.
The first go around, and everybody saw me, even Kylie, and I looked up to her.
But you did
I loved it.
It's all
Bliss.
that matters.
I think my most memorable was after we did the hikes and everything, because obviously, like, we both did them twice, Kristen and I. And so then, like, we did conquer it. But then the last day we were there, when Seth Barnes came and he had us walk again. And we had already been told, like, you're never going to have to do that hill again. And we had to do it, and we did it.
I
Like,
cried.
it was rough, but it was doable. And then after walking it, like mid-walk, we got to let go of something that we were holding on to. And I let go of my hesitation, and it was just like, oh my goodness. Like, it was just, that one rock was so heavy, but it really was, like, in the grand scheme of things, but it was just like, man, like,
Yeah.
it's doable, and we don't have to hesitate because God's got us.
All right, so how has it been living in community in Chicago?
So for me,
Hands going first.
I'll go first. I'll hold the mic. So I am someone that's very like, I like things a certain way. Everything has its place. The house needs to be clean when you leave the house needs to be clean before you go to bed, that kind of thing. And I realize living in community, like, not everyone's like that. And that's okay that not everyone's like that, because I've been able to adapt to the way everybody else lives, and like I'm okay. I don't freak out about little things. So it's helped me to like just release a little bit and to just to live and not have to like control and have a place for everything, you know, like just let life go. So
Ew. Yeah, I think it's been pretty, I think it's been great. I think it's been hard for me because I've never lived in this way. So just living with 6 other lovely women, it's been hard because, you know, when you're making breakfast in the morning, it's like everyone's there and it's like you have to figure out, you know, how to navigate. But it's fun. It's fun and it's worth it. But it's been an adjusting and processing time for me and for I think all of us. But it's been good. So.
I think ours, to be honest, like my community is different than theirs because I'm the only co-ed house. So it's not just like
What's co-ed?
co-ed is boys and girls.
Yeah,
for the viewers,
In case you didn't know.
It's a boy-girl party at our house. And so, but I'm used to like living with boys because I grew up with 2 brothers. But it has been a little different because we're all the same age and there's so many of us and we haven't like, it hasn't been as like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like bottleneck as much as we thought it would be. But it's been really like comforting to have both women and men in the same house because we love each other differently. And so just to have that and that, like we all have grown together and like been able to be vulnerable and help to sharpen each other. It's definitely great to be able to see other people's perspectives, like the male and female perspective on that.
For me, living in community has been really fun. I am an extrovert, but I can also like have my introverted ways. But they're most of the time not good for me. So to be able to have people or not be able to lock myself in a room has been good. It's definitely been fun to wake up to other people. I like never dread it. I mean, I dread waking up, but not for the people.
What have you seen the Lord do in Chicago so far?
So I'll go first again. So there is this guy that we met when we went to a little Turkish restaurant to get Turkish delight because I had it. And so like we just kind of started building a friendship with him, and then by the end of the transaction, the first time we met him was like, how can we be praying for you? And he asked for 3 specific things: wealth in his business, his all around like general health, and then world peace. And so we're like, we're gonna keep praying for you, we're gonna come back and visit. And so like 4 days go by and we follow back up with him, and as soon as I walked through the door, he was just like, have you been praying for me? And we were just like yeah, of course, like what's going on? So then he was like, so someone made good on a promise. Like I worked for them and they owed me money, and they followed through. Like after I told you guys, like they paid what they owed me. And then he was like, and then I started feeling a little sick, and I remembered that you guys were praying for me, like praying for my health. And then the next morning when I woke up, I was completely healed and I was fine. And so like just hearing that was really cool to see, like how quickly like the Lord answered his prayers, just to show him how real the Lord is. It was really cool to see that happen and like being able to experience that joy from him. So I'm excited to see how that develops over the next.
And then he Instagram messaged you.
Oh yeah, I mean, the most important part. Yeah, so he Instagram messaged me, and he took a screenshot from where he Googled Christian rules, and he was reading about like Jesus's teachings, and he was just really intrigued, and he was like, this is impressive. So like he's kind of taken it upon himself to learn more about who Jesus is and why we pray and like who we're praying to. So he's like starting to kind of bring himself in with us. So like we're able to talk to him and share with him about that. So that's really cool.
Okay, so what I can say is that we've been here for about a week and a half, right?
Yeah.
I believe that God's been working in us through the training that we've been receiving. We've been reading this book.
Love that book.
Yeah, in reference to evangelism, and I think it's been challenging in a good way. It's definitely gotten us out of our comfort zone, and just helping us be even more intentional with how we just make connections, and just going around town and getting to know people in the town and in the city. So I think it's been a blessing for us.
Okay, so I've seen God work yes, we've been doing ministry, and yes, we've been shepherding out. But I've seen him work more in my personal walk, and just like in our team specifically, how vulnerable we've been able to be with each other, and then the growth that God is doing in our little tight knit family.
Tight knit.
And then allowing
Emphasis
like,
on tight.
between like through the growth that we've experienced in that, being able to go out and support each other, because coming here like we weren't all very like secure in being able to go out, and like Janice said, like the book is very challenging, and so like allowing that to bond us together as opposed to like tear us apart, and then continuing to go out and shepherd and love, and so just that growth in ourselves and in our little family has been like wonderful and beautiful.
I've seen the Lord work in Chicago in a lot of ways, but mostly He's definitely changing my heart towards all people. Just especially using public transportation and like walking a lot of places and walking down the streets and going into stores that I normally wouldn't. You see lots of different people, lots of different cultures, lots of different ethnicities, and so it's definitely changing the way that I see strangers.
This way.
It's like you're always stuck in second gear. When it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your life.